Hey friends, welcome back. Today I am going to teach you how to grow your email list fast. And why do we want to grow an email list? Well, because it is the number one thing you can do to build an audience, to nurture that audience, and then sell to that audience consistently, day in, day out, week in, week out, and predictably, without being at the mercy of algorithms of Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all the other social platforms. This is something we can control. So let's dive in. Hey, I'm Bonnie. I have been an online entrepreneur for over 10 years. I have experience in blogging, e-commerce, manufacturing, digital design, all the spaces. And now I am a certified life and business coach who helps other women dive into their own online business and find success even when it seems impossible. So today we're going to talk about growing that email list that you know you should be growing. So first of all, what is an email list? Well, it's just a collection of email addresses that you can email anytime you want. So it's like a big friend group that you can have an email blast to saying, hey, I have this new product. Hey, I have this new service. Hey, have you heard about this thing? Hey, let me help you in some way. The critical part about an email list is that it's a direct connection to your ideal customers and clients. This is so important, especially in today's day and age. Way too many people are trying to build their audience exclusively on Pinterest or on YouTube or on their podcast or on their Instagram or their Facebook or their TikTok or any other platform. The problem is when those platforms choose not to show your stuff to your ideal clients, you no longer have a way to reach them. Email is king. It is the best way to consistently and predictably grow your income, your business, and your influence. And it is not hard to do, but it does require a little bit of skill and a little bit of know-how. Side note, if you want to watch my video about how to grow your business without social media entirely, I'll put that right here. Not only does email create a direct connection with your people and you can email them and contact them anytime you want, day or night, but it has an astronomical conversion rate. So if 1,000 people see your video and one person clicks on it on Facebook or Instagram, then you're going to get 5 or 6 times that conversion rate on email because these are people you're creating a relationship with. So I'm often talking about how building a relationship with your online audience is a lot like dating. You don't propose marriage to the first person you meet online. Instead, you're going to nurture that relationship, and business is exactly the same way. So if we're nurturing a relationship, we're quote unquote dating these people, they need to hear from us regularly. If you were dating someone and you didn't hear from them for months or weeks at a time, would you consider that a really successful relationship? No, you would not. So this is how we nurture and ascend this relationship until they trust us enough to purchase from us. So if you are not growing your email list, you are not really building a business. Let me say that again. Not growing a list, not building a business. The money, the magic, and the success is in that email list. All right, have I convinced you now? Great, let's dive in. How do we grow this list? Well, first of all, you need to know that it's going to take either time or money. I personally use a combination of both. I spend time to reach my ideal audience and give value to those cold leads. So I give them some sort of help so that they can get a little mini transformation for free. But I also use money in the form of paid ads. So most successful businesses use, I would say, a combination of both. They're spending time to get outreach, find the people that they want to talk to and get in front of them. They're also probably paying for ads. Ads is a whole other conversation we can have in another video, but just know that eventually you'll probably want to do a combination of both. At the beginning, you tend to have more time than money, so you can invest a lot of time that other bigger business owners can't to grow your list. So let's talk about what to do, how to spend that time in order to grow this list. Number 1 tip. Get in front of other people's audiences. There are people who already have cultivated an audience of people who are just like your ideal customers or clients. Find those influencers, those business owners, and get in front of their audiences. So how do you do that? By becoming a guest, by pitching them some sort of a summit or collaboration with them so that you can get in front of their audience. Let me give you an example. Sometimes I will see another business owner doing something similar to what I'm doing, but not exactly the same. If we're exactly the same, then I consider us kind of direct competitors, and I don't really want to get in front of their audience and try to take their business or them in front of my audience to take my business. Most of the time, though, you're not going to find another business owner that does exactly what you do with your exact same skill set. So most of the time, it's pretty easy to find a complementary relationship with someone like this. So you find someone who has the same kind of audience that you want to build, and then you just propose some kind of collaboration. Maybe they have a podcast and you can email and say, hey, I think that your audience would love to hear about XYZ from me. This is my expertise, and I love to see your expertise. Could we partner up and I can show up on your podcast and help your audience? It's a win for them, for that business owner, because they don't have to create content that week for their podcast. It's a win for you because you get in front of their audience. Side note, Anytime you get in front of another person's audience, have a lead magnet ready. And we will talk about a lead magnet in just a minute, but it is a way to catch those people's email addresses and build your list. If you're just showing up on their podcast without any way to capture those email addresses, well, then you're not really growing your list. You're growing your influence, but that's not the same, and it's not as important as growing that list. So a few other collaborations that work really well: being a YouTube guest on somebody's video, showing up on a Facebook or Instagram reel, any other sort of live video on YouTube or somewhere else, doing a social media takeover for someone who has a similar audience as the one you'd like to build, or speaking to a membership or a community. Imagine that there's a business owner that owns a membership of their audience who pays every month to hear content about something you're an expert in. You could offer a free speaking engagement to this person as long as they let you share a way to collect email addresses from their audience. And most people are really down for this because it's just kind of a collaborative effort where everyone wins and you get to build your list. So that's number one, getting in front of other people's audiences. Number two, let's talk about that lead magnet that you need to have ready. Why would someone give you their email address? After all, don't we all have enough spam in our inbox? Yes, we do, but they would give it to you in exchange for something really valuable. Think about the last time you gave out your email address. It was probably because someone offered you something great. Maybe your favorite store was like, I'll give you 25% off your first order in exchange for your email address. Or maybe an organizing blogger said, download my free guide to organizing your pantry. Just put your address in here. I'll send you the guide to your email. See, that is a lead magnet. A coupon can be a lead magnet, a guide, a mini training. Anything you offer your audience in exchange for their email address or phone number is a lead magnet, or sometimes known as a freebie. So a few other ideas of things you can offer: a PDF download, those are really common, a free video or video series, a slide deck. Maybe you created a presentation or a training and you want to give it to people for free in exchange for their email address, a menu plan, a list of ideas, literally anything that your audience might want that you can package up in some sort of digital format could be a great freebie or lead magnet. Now, your first freebie or lead magnet needs to be really good quality, but please don't fall into the trap of making it overwhelming. Remember, this has to be something that people can consume within a couple of days. Don't give them a 47-page ebook. They're not going to read it. They're not going to value it. And in the end, they're going to just be overwhelmed and feel frustrated. Give them something consumable. I recommend no more than 4 or 5 pages and not tons and tons of text. Lots of pictures, make it visually appealing, and make it easily digestible. It needs to solve your audience's immediate problem, but don't try to solve everything for them. That's impossible in a PDF anyway. So I recommend doing a little bit of market research here. So let's say, for example, that you are helping postpartum moms lose weight. The market research you're going to want to do is find a handful of friends or acquaintances who have just given birth and ask them what their biggest struggle is with losing weight. Is it lack of sleep? No time to exercise? Maybe breastfeeding their baby is making it so that they keep pounds on. Ask them what their main problems are and then do a little bit of brainstorming. Come up with a few ideas. Maybe you could give them a weekend meal plan that's really easy to do even with a baby in your arms. Maybe you could come up with an hour-long circuit training that they can do using baby as weight. The sky is the limit. Just come up with something that's going to solve that immediate problem and do so rapidly. Then you want to design it and make it pretty, especially if it's a PDF download. I always use Canva for this. I highly recommend the paid version because it has so many resources and it's highly worth it, but you can also create something amazing in the free version. And then start swapping that thing out for people's email addresses. All right, as a review, number 1 is getting in front of other people's audiences. Number 2 is creating that lead magnet or freebie. Number 3 is online events. And online events basically take the first 2 and combine the 2 in the best way. So you're getting in front of other people's audiences, but you're all swapping out these freebies or lead magnets in a collaborative way so that everyone benefits. A few ideas that I've done and have loved have been like a Q&A panel where a bunch of professionals get together with similar audiences and the audience can come ask us questions. You can do a bundle where you all kind of connect free resources together. Maybe you have 5 to 10 lead magnets you bundle up together, and when the audience puts in an email address, you all get it. You can do an online challenge either by yourself or with other people. You can do hot seat calls, basically anything where you are giving away more value and helping your audience in exchange for an email address. But this time it's an event. And events are so fun because number 1, I think you can just communicate a lot more value in a live video than you can in a pre-recorded video or in a PDF or a blog post or anything else or a podcast. Live video is just amazing. You can take questions. You can really give someone a transformation through a live event. Number 2, they get to essentially work with you online for an hour or 2. Depending on how long your event is. And this is critical for establishing that know, like, and trust factor. I don't think I have ever spent a considerable amount of money online with someone who I haven't seen in a live video event. I just need to see how that person interacts. I need to see how they talk. I need to ask questions and get responses. That's how I feel like I can trust this person, and I want to really give them my time and money. So how can you create an online event that is going to give people lots and lots of value in exchange for their email? I actually have an awesome list of online event ideas for you. If you want to download it, it is in the link in the description. All right, number 4, create a freebie or a lead magnet that gives away seasonal value. So I always tell my clients to start with one freebie that is really amazing, right? That is kind of going to solve a problem that most of your audience has at some point in their journey. But you can also do this in a seasonal manner. So for example, here's how to stop stressing during the holidays. Or here's how to make handmade costumes for Halloween. Here are the best recipes for losing weight in the new year. Okay, so you take your expertise and you package it up in a way that is seasonal, and you can reuse it every year. So every Halloween, you can present to your audience, hey, I have this cool thing, and anyone who's new to following you will opt in who hasn't opted in the past. But this is a really great way to stay relevant, to give somebody something that is really useful at that time of year, and to grow your list. Now, if I do have a freebie or a lead magnet, where am I sharing this? Whether it's seasonal or evergreen, well, I'm just sharing it everywhere. I'm sharing it in the link in my bio on Instagram. I'm sharing it in Instagram stories. You can put your little link sticker in your story. I am sharing it on my Facebook page. I'm sharing it on TikTok. I'm sharing it in person. I tell people about it. I share it all over my website. Pretty much anywhere I'm talking to people online, I'm sharing that freebie, especially when people ask questions. So sometimes I like to just hang out in Facebook groups where my ideal audience is asking questions, and I just give lots of value. I'm not there to pitch myself. I'm not there to be spammy. People will kick you out if you do that, but I'm just there to offer value. And if someone does have a question that can be solved with one of my freebies or lead magnets, I'll say, I actually have something that will answer this question. If you want it, let me know. And then I'll DM it to them. Never pitch people in DMs from private Facebook groups. Again, that's a way to get kicked out, and nobody wants spammers. But if they ask you and you say, yes, I could help you, then it's totally legit for you to give this person the help they're asking for. All right. Number 5. Now, this isn't growing your email list per se, but it is the number one thing you have to do once people are on your email list, and that is create a welcome sequence. So as soon as you grab someone's email, you are going to send them through a series of emails that is going to warm them up a little bit and let them get to know you. Please never, ever, ever drop cold leads, so someone who's just giving you their email address, into a newsletter. So if you're sending out a weekly newsletter, a monthly newsletter to your audience, do not put your cold leads into this newsletter. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten a random email from an online marketer and I had no idea who they were or how I got on their list or what they were even talking about, because they just dropped me right into their newsletter. Instead, you need to warm people up. For example, let's say I gave you my email address because I wanted to learn more about how to pick out the perfect computer for my business needs. And then all of a sudden I get an email from you telling me about some complex thing I need to know about computers, and I'm so confused, I just bounce. I'll just unsubscribe. But instead, what if I got 3 emails from you that was just warming me up to you? And it was like, hi, I'm Bonnie. I teach people about computers. Here's how I got my start, and this is how I help people. What kind of questions do you have about computers? What kind of operating system are you familiar with? Reply to this email and let me know, right? You're just creating this rapport and this relationship with people so that they look to you for help in this area. You want to warm them up. Again, like I said about the dating analogy, you don't just go up to somebody and say, hi, let's date seriously, and that you just met them. You're going to start at the beginning of the relationship. So this welcome sequence looks like usually 3 to 5 emails dripped out every day or so, right when someone gets on their list. So when I get an email address, the first email they get is a, hi, this is who I am, and this is how you got on my list. You probably downloaded one of these freebies, right? This is what I do and how I help people. I hope you'll stick around. I've got some great stuff for you. This is a great time to tell a story so that they come back for more of the story later. Don't give them the whole thing in the first email. You might tease them a little bit, right? Want to hear how I got started? It's a hilarious story. I'll be back tomorrow to tell you more. So you're just kind of teasing them a little bit, giving them a little bit of value, and then reminding them to come back for more the next couple of days. And then once the welcome sequence is over, you can tell them what to expect going forward. Okay, so I'm so happy you're here. You can expect to get an email from me every Thursday. Going forward, I'm going to tell you X, Y, and Z. I'm going to make sure that you are finding all kinds of success in whatever I teach. I'm glad you're here. Do you see how that is so much more of a welcoming and inspiring experience than just being dropped in the middle of someone's newsletter and having no idea where I am or what I'm doing and making me want to unsubscribe? So we want to warm our people up. Side note, when someone gets on your email list, They are probably the most interested in you than they will ever be. So sell them something. It doesn't have to be your highest ticket item. In fact, I highly recommend it be something small. But do you have a mini training or guide or something else that's more valuable than a freebie, but is still kind of a low ticket offer, maybe $15, $20, $30? Could you offer that to them at the end of the welcome sequence to give them a little bit more of a transformation right up at the front? That's a great way to do it. And then the sixth step in growing your email list fast is don't abandon your list. Don't just collect and hoard email addresses and then never do anything with them. Make sure you're connecting with them every single week. I know that can seem overwhelming, especially at the beginning of your business, and you're thinking, what am I even going to talk about? I promise the ideas will come. I'm going to create a whole other video about how to brainstorm lots and lots and lots of content ideas. But in the meantime, just start talking to them like you would any person who came up and asked you for help. Have you ever had a friend ask you, how do you declutter your house? Or how do you do your hair like that? What would you tell them? Say the same thing in your emails. Keep it short and to the point. Don't get rambly. You want people to actually read it, but don't be shy. Get these people to be familiar with you, make connections, ask for responses. They may or may not respond. Either way, you are giving them value every single week when you show up in that email list. I promise it's going to feel awkward at the beginning, but if you want to make more money, you have to email more. And I know everybody's going to have drama about emailing more than once a week, but it will make you more money. I promise. It's the most useful thing you can ever do in your business is to take time to create and nurture relationships within your email list. All right. So as a reminder on how to grow your email list fast, get in front of other people's audiences, create a freebie or a lead magnet to give them, create online events, make lead magnets or freebies that are seasonal. And then when they're on your list, don't forget to do a welcome sequence and email them regularly. This part does not have to be hard, my friends, but you do have to start, because if you don't start today, you're going to start 2 years from now and wish you had started today, because the sooner you start, the sooner you can build an amazing list and the faster it grows. One more tip before you go out and start growing your email list: you cannot send bulk emails to people for business purposes from Gmail or Hotmail or whatever else. You have to have an email service provider. So if you haven't used one of these yet, I highly recommend Flowdesk. It is cheap, easy to use, and really pretty. If you want one that's a little bit more powerful but a little bit more expensive, try ConvertKit. I think it is one of the hands down best email service providers out there. And if you are looking for an all-in-one platform that does courses and websites and email and podcasts and everything else, I highly recommend Kajabi. That's what I use. Big fan of that one. I'll have links to all these in the description, but don't wait to get the perfect tool to start building your list. Just do it today. I promise it's going to be more fun than you realize. All right, friends, go out there, build your email list. I'll talk to you next week.